it wasn't just the amount I was making, it was my money habits. I was not managing my money appropriately at all. I always paid my bills late. I always had disconnection notices in my mailbox and in my email. I was always paying late fees. I was getting overdraft fees. Like, it was ridiculous. But you always have a moment that hits you where it's going to force you to start thinking real different.
It's time to start the show and educate the people. Oh, oh. It's time to help you see just how you can You can be financially free with Cleo.
Welcome back to another episode of Financially Free with Cleo. I am your host, Cleo Childress, and I'm so excited because it's a new year. It is 2022, and I am starting a 4-week series called Start Fresh, and today is part 1. This week is part 1, and I'm going to be talking about something that most of us have said several times, right? Which is new year, new me, new year, however you want to say it. But a lot of times when we say those words, it's like a red flag, right? We ain't gonna do nothing. Yes, we ain't gonna do nothing. Now, we may have good intentions. We may really want to do better in different areas of our life. But when we say new year, new me, we're telling ourselves we have to have the start of a new year to be great or to be better, when that's really not the case at all. And that's probably the reason why you aren't taking any action. And you want to know how I know? Because I've been there. I've been there where I've basically lied to myself. Because let's just call it what it is. We are lying to ourselves. And when we say it that way, you have to ask yourself, like, how do you value yourself? What do you feel about yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? If you care about yourself, why you keep lying to yourself? Because when you lie to yourself, then you start lying to other people. You make promises to people you can't make. You know, it's like it starts to be this domino effect. Because if you show up in one way in your life, you usually show up in other areas of your life in the same way. And I want your 2022 to be different. You know, it starts with before the year begins. I know I tell a lot of people, hey, before the new year starts, actually start taking action before. But we're already here, right? So it's never too late to start. So let's stop saying this new me, new year, new me, or I'm gonna start fresh and new. We're going to start today with intentions, right? We are going to start today with doing things differently. Don't wait to a new year or a new week or a new month to say, oh, I'm going to start doing better. Let's just start with today, okay? And I want to share a story with you about my own personal experience. So I know for me, one day, one of my goals is to write a book because I have so many transformational experiences and stories that I know can help somebody else out there. But one of them that really, cut to my core was when I got evicted several years ago. So this was back in 2010, right? I was living in an apartment. It was based on my income. I was in my hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, and my rent was never more than like $500. Now, since then, I've never had my rent be that cheap. And over the last several years, my rent has been on the pricier side. And I used to think, like, how did I blow having rent that cheap? But I know it's getting more expensive everywhere. But that year that I got evicted was one of those years I said, new year, new me. I'm going to do new things. I'm going to change my habits. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to stop living paycheck to paycheck. I'm going to start paying my bills on time. I'm going to try to get me a better job that's going to help me make more money. It's all these different things I was like, I'm going to do, right? We always going to do something. And I had to realize, Cleo, you stay making these to-do lists. Look, I got a pen and paper right now. I always got a to-do list on paper or on, a digital list on my phone, like in your notes in your iPhone. I always got some lists with a whole bunch of stuff on it, right? Back then, I was the same way. I always had planners, legal pads, I always had notes with stuff on it that I'm gonna do. But gonna do turns into 3 months later and you ain't done nothing. And then it turns into several other months later. And I know sometimes, like for me, I would always use excuses. There really wasn't excuses, Yes, I was a single mom. Yes, I was always working a job, trying to juggle 100 different things. But what I've learned is no matter what your life situation is, you could be single, you could be in a relationship, you could be married, you could be living alone, you could have no kids, you could be living with a roommate, living with family. It doesn't matter what your job is, what your relationship status is. It doesn't matter if you have kids or not. It doesn't matter if you live with family or live alone. It doesn't matter. We all have made excuses before. But at the same time, if we set priorities, we can actually accomplish the things that we really want to accomplish. But we have to ask ourselves, what do we want? Ask yourself this right now. What do you want? What do I want? What do I need in this season of my life? Because that is something else we have to understand, is that we evolve, we grow, we change. What Cleo wanted in 2019 is not what I want today. What Cleo wanted in 2020, or even at the beginning of this year, it has evolved. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing or it's wrong. It just means I'm growing. I'm changing for the better. And if you're not growing and changing as these years go by, that's a sign that you may need to talk to a mentor, get into someone's mentorship program, talk to a therapist, or consult with some close friends that you trust that will tell you the real, be honest with you, and get some feedback from them, because you don't want to keep living your life and saying the same thing over and over, new year, new me, and then you get to the end of the year and realize, you know what, I don't think I really did much with my life this year, or I didn't really accomplish much with my life this year. What needs to change? So when I got evicted that year, I really had to ask myself, like, how the heck did I get to the point where my stuff is on the street? It was so humiliating. It was embarrassing, because at this point they throwing my stuff out. So I need some help to get my stuff off the street, Now I can smile about it because I know it's something I overcame. But at the moment, I was so traumatized. I was so traumatized, because where are you going to go? All of my friends and family, they struggling too, and really don't have no room for me to come. So I really didn't have anyone to come save me. Not that I needed someone to save me, because when we fall down, we got to figure it out. We got to get back up in some type of way. And you're not going to always have people that'll pick you back up. But it was hard for me to pick up the phone and call someone to say, I need to stay with you, or can I stay with you? I need somewhere for my stuff to be. I need a truck to put my stuff on. And I was embarrassed as a woman and as a mother, because I felt like I can't even pay my based on income rent. I got put out of an apartment that was based on my income that was never no more than $500. Now, the jobs that I was working back then didn't really pay any money. Definitely not compared to what I make now. But it wasn't just the amount I was making. It was my money habits. I was not managing my money appropriately at all. I always paid my bills late. I always had disconnection notices in my mailbox, in my email. I was always paying late fees. I was getting overdraft fees. It was ridiculous. But you always have a moment that hits you where it's going to force you to start thinking real different. And that feeling of being evicted was one of the worst feelings I had ever experienced. And I was like, I can't go back there. I cannot go through losing the place where I sleep at night. And I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm tired of saying new year, new me. I'm tired of saying I'm going to do this or going to do that. I'm tired of starting something and falling off track all the time. Now, life happens, right? Things happen, things change. But I kind of feel like we can use that as an excuse too. Oh, life happens. No. Yes, take a moment. gather your thoughts, cry, get it out. But we're adults here. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta figure out what is next in our life. And I think sometimes we make things so complicated, and it doesn't have to be complicated. But everyone, all of us, has something that knocks us down, slams us down, like body slam you on the ground to make you wake up and really get it together. Join me every single week on Sundays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for a money yoga session. You're probably wondering, what is this money yoga stuff? It's a vinyasa style yoga class with financial affirmations and financial empowerment. It's designed to help you relax, reset, and prep for the work week ahead. And if we are nurturing our mind and our bodies, we can make better financial decisions and live financially free. There will be Q&A at the end, so bring your money questions. You can register at cleoyogafinance.com/money-yoga. I'll see you on Sunday. Now let's get back to the episode. And that was a year that really made me start to look at things a lot different, because I knew I didn't want to be on the street again. I didn't want to be in a position where I have to move in with a relative that don't have space for me anyway, or that act like they want to help but really don't want to help. You know how you have those people in your life that act like they want to help, but then they just do it enough to make you feel like, oh, now you owe me now. Like, they don't help out of generosity. They help because they try to get something else out of you, or they try to help you enough to know more your business so they can go and tell all your business. It's hard to trust people because you don't know who genuinely wants to help you. And there's something that I've always reminded myself is that sometimes you're going to have help, but there's going to be a lot of times where there's not going to be anyone there to help you. And that's when I started to change my mindset around goal setting and the ending of one year and the start of a new year, and how I have to make different decisions and be more intentional. So now when a year is ending and a new year is beginning, I reflect to see, okay, what have I really done with my year? What worked out? What didn't really work out? What interests do I have that changed? Do I still want to do the same thing I'm doing, or do I want to do something else? Do I want to do something else different in my personal and professional life? What do I need to do more of? And it doesn't have to be drastic changes. I'm not saying everybody has to change, get a new job, or move to a new city, nothing like that. You can still live in the same city, have the same job, but just want things in different ways. You probably want things in different capacities. You may want to earn a little bit more money. You may want to travel more. Maybe you want to spend more time with your significant other, maybe your kids. Or maybe you just want some more me time. Maybe you want to take more time once a month or every other month to do like a staycation on your own, where you just have a break from all your friends and family members and you work, where you have a day just to yourself. But just thinking of, what value can I pour into my life? Instead of always thinking of what can someone else do for me, let's start with ourselves and figure out, because we're responsible for the experiences that we have, right? It's all about us. Everything that we experience, positive and negative, is because of this. What we think in here, and what's in here, and on the external side, what we do on the outside. Like, what are we doing? The actions that we're taking every single day. Because I had to look at my habits. I was eating out all the time. Nothing is wrong with eating out, but it is something wrong with it when I know I really can't afford to be eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. And then I'm going to the payday loan places to get a payday loan because now I ran out of money and my payday hasn't came yet. That's not a good look. If you have the extra money to eat out, then that's totally fine, because I love eating out. I like getting my coffees and stuff. Sometimes I make them at home and sometimes I don't. But it's just things like that you have to think about. What are my goals? What are my priorities? What are my desires? What do I really want? And once you get clear on that, then you have to ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get it? What am I willing to sacrifice? What am I willing to change? Am I willing to be vulnerable? This is something else that I learned, is that when you are leveling up in life, you're going to have to be vulnerable with somebody. It could be your mentor, your coach, your therapist, a friend, a significant other, because as you're leveling up, you're experiencing new things, you're going through new challenges. You got to get it out. You can't hold it in. There's going to be days where things are going great, you're pumped up, and you're going to have other days where you're like, ooh, this is challenging. You may want to cry. You have to learn how to be vulnerable. And I struggled with that for a long time because I tried to have this hard exterior, not crying, especially in front of someone else. But I learned that you feel real good, and it is a form of self-care, getting that cry out or getting that vulnerable conversation out with somebody, because we're all human. We can't be strong all the time. This goes for men and women. Like, we can't be strong and powerful every single day, all the time. There are times where we need to be soft and vulnerable. This goes for men and women. Now, the way this goes back into this, new year, new me thing is that I want you to take that out of your vocabulary. And instead of saying new year, new me, ask yourself, what do I desire for the next 12 months of my life? What do I want to see for myself? And think big. You don't have to always think small, because when you think big, your actions become bigger. And those opportunities and blessings start to pour into your life way bigger than they used to. So I want to encourage you to take some time this week and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I desire? What do I need? What do I want? Who do I need? Who do I want? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What are the things that I want to have in my life? What things do I need to remove from my life? You have to constantly have those meetings with yourself to see what needs to stay, what needs to go. And when I say what, I mean what or who. It's all about removing the negative, toxic things in people and adding more positive and valuable and encouraging people and things into your life. Because I don't believe we're meant to wake up every day and experience drama and stress. You know how when people used to tell you back in the day, stress kills? When I was younger, I didn't really understand or believe that, not at all. But as I got older and experienced some life and had so many times where I was stressed out, and then I started to feel sick inside. I started to feel pain inside, and I realized stress and worrying, it doesn't help. It helps nothing. It actually makes things a whole lot worse. So the best thing you can do is just take some time and shift your thinking from the stress and worry to the more positive thoughts. And that's going to take some time, but it's about those habits and being consistent with them over a period of time and having more positive people into your life. If there's anybody, family included, who you know is always complaining, always full of negativity, always full of drama, if it's not just family, but even if it's people on social media that you follow, you may have to unfollow some people. You may have to get out of some Facebook groups. We have to purge ourselves from a lot of negative stuff. This goes for people who you text or talk to on the phone. Like I mentioned, Facebook groups, people you follow on social media. Like, you're going to have to follow, unfriend, get out of some groups, even if it's the little chat groups. With all these different apps, we're all in so many different little groups, right? Sometimes you may have to leave out of those groups too. That way you can make sure that you're only opening space in your life for positive things and less on the negative things, right? So your homework is to take some time this week and figure out what you desire for the next 12 months of your life. All right. And this week's episode is brought to you by Daily Money Habits, which is my new text community that's going to help you push you closer to your money goals. So in the Daily Money Habits text community, you will get a text message every single morning that's going to give you a financial affirmation that's to inspire and empower you to take action. And then you'll also get a specific action step to take. So a lot of times when it comes to getting your money together, you can be overwhelmed trying to do a whole bunch of different things, right? I know how it feels. But you can do so many different things that you're really not getting anything accomplished. And then there are other times where you want to get your money together and you're just not sure where to start. So you just don't do anything. Like you just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to work on it one day. And the next thing you know, it's 6 months later and you're done nothing. Or you only done very little. That's really kind of holding you back. So the Daily Money Habits text community is to help you hold you accountable, help to remind you to take action daily. And when I mean take action, I'm not saying you have to do a whole lot of stuff or big things every day. Sometimes it's the little things that really make a difference. So if you are someone who needs some help getting out of that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, and remember, paycheck to paycheck is not people that only make low income. There are people with high incomes that live paycheck to paycheck and having a struggle with managing their money. So the Daily Money Habits text community is for you if you are needing help with managing your money, taking action, being consistent with those money habits. Because those habits that you do every day or don't do is what really reveals the truth about your money lifestyle. And if you want to get closer to those goals, you need someone to help you, like me. So text Money Habits, that's all caps, Money Habits, to 615-813-4827. Now, if you do not type Money Habits in all caps, you will end up on somebody else's list. So you have to text Money Habits in all caps to 615-813-4827, and you will start getting your texts every single morning. Now, this is a paid membership. It's a paid community. It's $37 a month, and you will get those texts every single day, holidays included. And there's some extra bonuses that you get as well, because there are going to be monthly live financial workshops and a whole bunch of other stuff in store for you. So I hope that you take some time this week to work on letting go of new year, new me, and start changing those words, having better positive vocabulary. What do I desire? What am I going to work on right now? So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.
Financially free with Cleo.